So, good afternoon, everyone. So, I think this is our first outdoor visit to one of the world state-of-art facility, that is the largest plant phenomics facility, which has been established at Indian Agriculture Research Institute (IRI). So, before going on to the customary, let me welcome Dr. Sudhir Kumar, and he is in charge of this Nanaji Deshmukh Plant Phenomics facility. He is a senior scientist at Division of Plant Physiology IRI, one of my best friend, and we are working in very close association on different aspects of plant phenomics. So with this brief note, now I request Dr. Sudhir Kumar to please take this batch of 33 trainees from different SAUs and ICR research institutes to demonstrate different aspect of plant phenomics.
Okay, thank you.
Please.
Thank you, Doctor. Please come. We will start from here. Then, just wait a minute. Let me start. एक मिनट Doctor. We'll make arc here and then we'll go. Please come. Okay. So you are from plant biochemistry background.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you might come across with what is plant phenomics as such, but still I will use the word phenomics. Phen, what we are seeing from outside, and the study of each stage. And what we are doing up to this time, we are going by this P is equal to G into E. It's the well known equation where we could see how the plant can express itself. But if we have a stable E, at the time P can be equal to G. So what we are seeing, if a plant is behaving well under one climatic zone and is not behaving in the same way in the different climatic zone, comes from E part and the G part. But if we can screen out the plant under one E, means E is stable, so we could see the G part. And if we could find the G part, so we can go to improve our crops. So in the earlier time, what we are doing, we are taking the plant sample, dry weight was taken for R1, and then we have to see the yield for R2. But we have no such kind of facility that we can see the same plant for the weight and we can go for the yield for the same plant. So what we are doing, we are growing four, 5 plants and taking few for the biomass, few for the yield. But in order to see the plants, what is happening at each stage, because you might have seen, if you go outside, you might find that some coldness is there, some hotness is there. If we have extreme temperatures, how the leaves are behaving, how the plant is behaving, because what we are getting up to this stage, we are seeing hardly the plant height, the weight or yield. But what are the changes plant is doing for short period? If we have rain for four days, what kind of changes the plants is behaving? Means those plants can behave well under those things. Those traits can be used for the crop improvement. So what we could see through eyes, we cannot save. So what we do, in order to save all those informations, we are using these 8 eyes. These 8 eyes include all the ways. I will emphasize the fact these eyes may have some error, but their error being applied across the samples we will scan here. For instance, if a person has a eyesight 6 by 6, 6 by 5, he will see all the things with the same error. So we are doing the same here. For instance, if I start by the way, the first one to get information about the plant temperature. For instance, it's the plant, and through infrared camera I get the information about the plant temperature. We are not getting only this much information. If we go to the back into it, it's showing that how much water is available inside the roots. For instance, if we have two genotypes, one has higher temperature, one has low, and they are under the same water condition, it means the roots are more efficient for the one which having low temperature. So this information from the plant temperature can be come into the shape how the roots are behaving. So through this eye, though we can see the plant temperature, but still we, by a surrogate trait, we can find out how the roots are behaving. Then come to the second one, you might have some sort of idea how the PS2 can perform. But up to this stage we are seeing only a small part of leaf. But here what we can see, how the whole canopy is behaving, that information can be captured by this eye. Then we have these two eyes to get information what is the plant, what water status at real time. Real time means what we are doing earlier, as I shown here, we have to take the plant sample, we have to dry, and only then after 4 days we could know how much water was there. But here by these two, for root and shoot, this information can be opened by the camera. Then it's the one eye which we have in our own eyes. And this RGB information is the best one, because what we could see through eyes and we can match from the camera, it's the best information available for the plant phenotype as such. Then comes these two gems words I is apply for this, because the range start is huge, and each nanometer can give you, if I start the word N content, you might be thinking how it's possible, but still if I counting P content, K, and then some micro, some amount of protein, starch, even sugar. So these information can be obtained by this, but keep in mind that whatever information we are getting, it's with the same error. We cannot match this information with the wet lab, but we have to screen, for instance, large samples. Only that information can be used to screen down the things. I hope you are with me up to this time. So these 8 eyes are being used to see the plants, how it's growing from seed to seed. And the one is stable fact is that how here e part is same. So once E part is same, how the plant is behaving, how the leaf are growing, how the leaf angles are changing, all those information are being captured every day. So we can get an idea what was the stage where the plant was, for instance, two plants behaving differently at one stage. So we can find out which is the gene which is actually playing a key role in that condition. So we can find out those kind of stages and those kind of information from this one. So these are the eyes we have. One important aspect is that we have a weighing and watering plant. Every day we weigh the plant, how much water loss from the leaf. And what we do, we keep the soil surface with the mulch, so that there won't be any loss from the soil surface. So at the end of the experiment, we can find out how much water was used to give how much yield. Yield may be biomass, or our economic part may be seed. So this information can be obtained by this. It's a kind of say automatic lysimeter, and its importance is that it will add the same amount of water what has been lost by the transpiration in the last 24 hours. So it's a quite precise thing. So we can end with, and the most important aspect lies in this pot we have no hole. So only way the water can lose through transpiration only. So this information precisely can be matched, and we can come across with how the drought tolerance crops can behave. Those information can be obtained by this. So by these 8 eyes, these weighing and watering station, we are getting the data for each stage. Now I want to show how this data actually appear. Please come this side. Here you might be using infrared gun, how the plant canopy temperature gets changed, but in that case we are getting information only a small part of leaf. But here what we are getting for the whole canopy, from the side view and from the top view, how the whole canopy being. And we also have a capability to take image at each angle. So if we want to see the how the whole canopy is behaving, for instance, this image showing that after imposition of stress, how the plant temperature gets changed. And if you take the observation here and here, the plant temperature will be different if we are using only hand gun. But here what we are getting information for the how the whole canopy is behaving. And if you see the ear part here, already temperature is high. So in that way we can find out how the whole canopy is behaving. And keep in mind the surrogate trait from the root also. In that information we can also get, those canopies are cool, obviously their roots should be having more depth and more uptake of water. So that information can be obtained by this. It's the one you might have idea how the fluorescence actually take place. And if you use the some instrument you might have used, we call that as fluoropen. Anybody has used that one? That instrument is being used to get fluorescence only a part of leaf. But what we are getting here for the whole canopy, and if you go by this, if you see this leaf, the one leaf is not behaving in the same way. If you see this part is the most active one, and if you see these parts, they are not so active. So inside the leaf itself we find so much variation. And if we go for the whole canopy, you can find out here we have one transgenic plant and one wild one. After imposition of drought, how these fluorescence efficiency goes off. And if we go by the word Fe by Fm, we can find out those are the genotypes which are behaving well. So it's also a way to screen down the plants for stresses. It may be drought, it may be heat, which impact our photosystem too. Then it's the one how RGB or how our eyes see the things. For instance, here you see these two images. Here the leaf area is more. After imposition of stress, the leaf area get changed, and how you could see the whole canopy architecture get changed. How many pixels are green here and how many yellow. So based on that, we can quantify how the plants are behaving, and we are taking all those information almost every fourth day. So we could find out which are the plant which is still holding more green pixels even after imposition of drought. So it can give idea to screen down the plant for drought. We are working mostly on drought, but still it can be used maybe for heat, maybe for salinity. So in that way this screening pattern can be used. Then I show from that one that the two camera we have to get information how the inside water get changed. Here you could see these two blue zones. It shows that once stress was imposed, though the amount of water inside these plants up to this stage, but once stress imposed, the most of the water confined only to this zone. And the most important aspect lies, we can also get the yield from the same plant. We could see how the inside water content is changing, how it's giving yield. So if we have each stage data, we can land how these genotypes are behaving under stress. It's for shoot part, it's for root part, and it's also give idea what is the pattern of roots. Once we impose stress, how the roots are changing, all those information can be obtained by these two camera. And these are the gems, because as much as work we can do in the lab and match those information with this image based information, we can get large kind of information. As you are from the biochemistry, you might know to estimate amino acid is not a easy task. So once we match this information from the image base, we can screen down hundreds and thousands of sample for any amino acids. So in that way, what we are getting from seed to seed, what are the changes happen in terms of appearance or the phenes, and in terms of what we call as biochemical parameters, all those information can be obtained by these 8 eyes. And we will show a video to you then how the whole process goes, and then we'll go inside how this whole structure actually look like. So we will see that video on that screen.
कंप्यूटर की सहायता से लक्षण का रूपक किया जाता है। ये केंद्र हाईटेक नियंत्रित जलवायु वाले ग्रीन हाउस, गतिशील ग्रीन कन्वेयर सिस्टम, स्वचालित भारोत्तोलन, उर्वरक एवं सिंचाई स्टेशन और विभिन्न इमेजिंग सेंसर से सुसज्जित है। ये केंद्र जलवायु अनुकूल फसल किस्में विकसित करने के लिए उपयोगी श्रेष्ठ जीव।
And this car has the same kind of tag as we find in case of highways now. These tag contain all the information, what the port weight is, what kind of genotype we have, and how many times image has been taken, and at what stage watering was done. So all those information are saved based on this tag, and these information are being transferred to the storage. So at the end of the experiment, we have each stage information, how many times image was taken, at what angle image was taken, what was the weight. So all informations come from this tag only, so there is no intervention from our side, so hardly any error can take place. And the kind of information we are getting from these image based phenotyping, they can show that we can commit some kind of error, but these won't commit. For instance, once the leaf are roll, we can say the leaf area is reduced, but by this camera we can know how much area get reduced. So based on that, all those words we have listened, kind of transpiration use efficiency, though we have seen those words, but we can get all those information from these kind of cameras. I will show how this actually structure look like, how the plant come, and how these cameras fit, so that you can more idea how the whole work is being done. We will go that side. Please come. Based on this tag, and they will come here. We have a chance at what height we want to take image, at what angle we want to take image, and we have two camera, one at the top, one at the side. And once image has to be taken, the gate get closed. So inside that, the background remain the same, there is no airflow, the leaf will be not there won't be any shaking for leaf, and everything will be perfect. So once we have that image, it's not the only case that we have to use that image, we have to analyze that image. For instance, if I take a photo with dark background, with light background, with more light background, same kind of information cannot be obtained. And one more important aspect, that here the port area, the camera, everything is fixed. So if I take a picture by more zooming or less zooming, the number of pixels also get changed. So here everything is fixed. It's a kind of studio for the plant. And only thing we have to do, we have to segment out the background part, because our foreground is our plant, and everything is same, the background, air, and everything. So whatever information come from the plant, that can be used to tag. You might have come across with the word GWAS, you have idea. So what you do for that one, you find some traits, you have some SNP or ASR marker data, and then match those information. And the real problem lies the kind of QTL you identify in the field, they are not, for instance, we identify here, they may not be applicable to second E part, because if once environment get changed, things also get changed. But the QTL which are mapped here, they can be used in any part of the world, because here E is same, and whatever the G part is there, that expression comes. So based on that, up to this stage, we have mapped QTL for what water use efficiency, then transpiration use efficiency, and biomass. So the kind of information coming from here, for
Hope that you all have enjoyed this visit to plant phenomics facility. So with this brief note, so let me felicitate Dr. Sudhir Kumar for giving such a nice interactive talk over here and showing you the plant phenomics facility. So this is a small
okay,
memento
thank
as a
you so much.
document.
Thank you so much.